Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the broadcast today, the return of George Harris with Nevadans for Sound Government, here for the whole show on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
Forget the weather outside. There's a blizzard of points inside the Carson Valley Inn during the 15 million points giveaways. Drawings every Thursday and Saturday, including 4 1 million point winners guaranteed. And don't miss the 2 million point grand prize giveaways. It's the 15 million points giveaways at the Carson Valley Inn.
Big R is Northern Nevada's #1 Golden Fire wood pellet supplier. More heat, less ash, 100% natural, and no additives. And there's only one place that stocks this many wood pellets, and that's Big R in Sparks, Winnemucca, Fallon, Fernley, and Lovelock. A river of wood pellets at Big R.
For 50 years, Nevada Heating has been keeping people comfortable in their homes. At Nevada Heating, call the Do It Right guys and get the heat back on today. Call us today and we'll fix it today. That's the Nevada Heating way. Why freeze for days on end when Nevada Heating can get your furnace fixed today? Call us today and we'll fix it today at 323-5585 or schedule us on our website at nevadaheating.com.
As you know, Reno is booming. Toll's development company is helping it grow with insightful design and development, building community with every project, adding beauty, adding excitement, emphasizing our shared humanity. Reno is becoming bigger. Toll's development is helping it become better, more livable, more enjoyable. To learn more, go to tollsdevelopment.com. tollsdevelopment.com.
Save money and take transit. Did you know you can ride the bus all day for less than what it would cost you for a gallon of gas? Plan your trip now by going to rtcwashoe.com.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we're joined by the one, the only George Harris, chairman of Nevadans for Sound Government, who is singing as we're taping this morning.
How are you?
This is the morning after the Super Bowl. I am fabulous. You look and sound fabulous. And yesterday, CBS played this incredible clip, CBS Sports, of you at the Alien Research Center. It was fabulous. I want to run the clip. Here's the clip.
Hello there.
Hey, how are you?
I'm Brock.
Brock, nice to meet you. I'm George.
Pleasure to meet you, George. The research center here is kind of the gateway to the extraterrestrial highway. What else can we find on this road?
So we are 100 extraterrestrial highway. We're at the beginning of the ET highway, and about 20 miles to the west of here, if you turn right, you will see a dirt road that looks like it's going to heaven. That's the road that takes you to the back gate of Area 51. You go to the back gate, you can go to the black box, and if I could indulge you for a second, because I guess you're here for the Super Bowl, I'm pretty sure the aliens will tell us that Kansas City's going to win the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes is 100% an alien. Mahomes and Boomer Esiason, both aliens.
So thanks to our friends at CBS Sports. How did this come about?
Well, you know, they called because they're very smart, these CBS Sports national people. And they said, hey, we want to do a segment on cool things, you know, throughout the state. And they said Area 51's the thing. And we heard that you're the Area 51 guy. And I said, well, I can't tell you that because it's a secret. But they came up and they interviewed me, and I was lucky enough to. Now, Sam, by the way, you need to put a little content to this. This was before the division championship, and I announced on air that Boomer Esiason and Patrick Mahomes were both aliens, and that Kansas City was going to win the Super Bowl.
And you certainly called that one, no doubt about it. Well, it was a great piece. I hope you get a ton of response to it, and a lot of business for the Alien Research Center. You were out there with your business years before it became a hot topic, and so I'm so glad they did that for you.
Yeah, but none of this would have happened if it wasn't for the late Sheldon Adelson. I mean, when Shelley started supporting this the stadium and they all, oh, he's just doing this to line his own pockets, which was all total nonsense. He knew this guy was always a visionary. I worked for him for a long time, that. And he was a visionary and he saw what was going to happen in Las Vegas. And let me tell you, bringing these professional sports teams here has just been a big boon for our economy. And that's why I say, this town is a wonderful town. Vegas is a wonderful town.
For folks that don't know, George has owned several restaurants over the years in Las Vegas. And one of the great joys of going to the restaurants, especially at around 9 o'clock at night, was that George would get up and start singing all these great Sinatra tunes. And I always enjoyed that. All right, let's get to other business here. Beyond the CBS Sports exposure, you posted a photograph of you, Phil Ruffin, and Don Ahern. Phil Ruffin is the owner of Treasure Island and Circus Circus and a billionaire. Don Ahern, as we know, a good friend of the show, is a billionaire. And you're working your way up towards being a billionaire. Can you share what was in that conversation between you three giants of business?
Well, no, I can't because I don't repeat conversations. That's why all these guys talk to me, because I know I'm never going to tell anybody about what we talked about. But I will tell you that it's going to be huge. It's going to be huge. And it's probably going to be the end of April or the first 2 weeks of May. And it's going to be great.
Okay, can I ask for a hint? Is it possibly to do with the festival grounds across the street from the Ahern that abuts the Circus Circus property?
Maybe.
Okay, well, that's a good enough clue right there. All right, so you've spent a lot of time with President Trump over the last couple of weeks. Share with us what you can, including the motorcade.
Okay, so listen, you get a bucket list thing. I was invited with Dawn. We went and had breakfast 2 Saturdays ago with the president, and we've got to spend a lot of time, probably like 50 minutes with him. And then he said, "Hey, what are you guys doing next? Because I got to get going. I got this rally." And we didn't. What, do you want to go to the rally? No, we hadn't planned on it. He goes, "You want to go in the motorcade?" We both looked at each other and said, "Yeah." So we got in the motorcade and we went down to the rally, and the rally was great. And then we were going to take an Uber back. And then one of the Secret Service people came out and said, "Hey, the president would like for you guys to go back to the plane with him." We both looked at each other again and said, "Yeah." And we got back in the motorcade, drove to the airport. As we pull into the airport, to the left is Air Force Two, Kamala Harris's plane, because they sent her out there thinking that she was going to disrupt a Trump rally, which is just nonsense. And then when you look to the right was the president's 747. It was great. It's fantastic, Sam.
All right, so having spent this amount of time with the president, and this is not your first visit with the president or Don's, what is it that the public doesn't understand and the media doesn't understand about Donald Trump as a person versus Donald Trump as portrayed by the majority of the media?
Well, first of all, he's got the greatest sense of humor you're ever going to see. He's a very funny guy. Secondly, look, I hate to say this to you, Sam, but the most of the media, 99.9995% of the media, is far left, not centrist left, but far left. And they don't like our country. Why? I don't know. I don't know if it had something to do with their college education. They believe they're owed everything. And they will say and do anything to try to destroy this man. And why? I don't know, because all he's trying to do is make America great again. I find it repugnant that they've tried to make the word MAGA, make America great again, some sort of racist or terrible thing. Of course we want America to be great. We want America to be the leader of the world. These people don't want that. These people are hell-bent to try to destroy our country. And let me tell you something, people aren't dumb. Sam, the Democrats have way overplayed their hand. The cake has been cooked on the border, and that's why you're going to start seeing nothing but abortion commercials probably this week. And that's going to be an Achilles heel for them, because people are just not going to want to. The facts are the facts, Sam. We have possibly up to 400 terrorists that have entered our country. Okay. And I know that you like to be devil's advocate because you're a little devil. I get that. But the fact of the matter is that it's not if something's going to happen, it's when. Okay. And, yes, these folks are coming over the border. But look, they planned 9/11 probably for 5 years. So I'm telling you, it's sad that our media is so far left and so hating of the American dream and the American public.
Okay, well, I'm gonna take umbrage with a couple of things you've said here. I don't think the media hates.
That's a big word, umbrage. Where did you learn that word? Let me look that up in the dictionary here. Umbrage.
I actually ate a dictionary for breakfast this morning because I couldn't find the cornflakes. So look, terrorists can come into this country if they're not known by our secret services, and there are obviously lots of terrorists that are not known. They can come in through legitimate ports of entry on a tourist visa. So coming across the southern border is not, the major issue here. I think that the ports of entry are a far bigger issue that needs to be addressed. But
I think you're wrong, Sam. Sam, during 9/11, well, Sam, during 9/11, you're right. They entered through travel visas. They entered through but now, Sam, you're talking about a flood where it's a flood. There wasn't how many 9/11 terrorists were there? You're talking about 400 plus terrorists that have crossed the border.
Okay,
that's
okay.
Sam,
that's your statement, but it's not proven. Okay, let's talk. Let's address your comment.
Sam, shame on you. It's not proven.
Let us get to no, it's not. Let's get to the other. Yes, it is. Not 400.
Now you sound like one of those left-wing crazy media people.
And you know what's great about this show is Republicans think I'm a Democrat. The Democrats think I'm a Republican. It is the perfect situation to be in. Now, are all media left-wing? Of course not. But, you said extreme left-wing. Of course not. But if you think of the circumstances that most journalists go through, they work in newsrooms that pay almost nothing. They see the sales department is where all the money is made, and yet they're living on crumbs. Is it surprising that journalists tend to take a more liberal view? It doesn't surprise me. It would be nice if everybody was paid to a point where it made sense. Does that justify the liberal side of the media? But I think that if you go to solid news.
Have you lost every marble in your head? I mean, come on, Sam. Let's look at the journalists don't get paid too much. Then don't do the job. Go become a businessman. Go become a manager at McDonald's where you can make $275,000 a year. But when you say I'm a journalist and I went to school for journalism, I went to Cornell University for journalism, they teach you your job is to ask questions, not to make the news. Your job is to ask tough questions, not send up, oh, Mr. President. Even though that we know that you can't find your own Easter eggs, boy, you're just a good guy.
Okay, but right? George, other side of the coin.
On.
George, other side of the coin is that there is a lot of money being made by networks that claim to be news networks that are opinion networks and that are going to an echo chamber for either one side or the other, whether it's CNN and MSNBC on one side or Newsmax and Fox News on the other side. Every Sunday, I watch all the Sunday shows, and it's fascinating to see the different views of exactly the same issues on those programs. So,
but Sam, your point is well taken and it's correct, but it's the networks.
Hang on a second, Dave. Would you write that down, please? Sam, you are correct. Could you take
Sam,
that clip? That is a commercial for Nevada
Newsmakers. Every time. But Sam, you're right about one thing. The networks are only there to make money. Look, I think it's been about 10 or 12 years ago is when the entire news industry collapsed, when CNN, CBS, all of these guys started putting actual news anchors on sitcom shows, on drama shows. I've seen people on Blue Bloods and that are actual news anchors trying to give that credibility.
George, I'm going to shock you. I'm going to shock you right now. I totally agree with you. I don't think that news
David,
anchors...
write that down. Sam totally agrees with me,
I don't have any thought that news anchors or reporters should be part of movies, which is a much more prevalent thing, or TV shows that aren't about their job. and I find it bizarre when well, I'm not even going to go down this road, but I agree with you on this.
You're not going down the road because you have to protect your ilk. You have
They're
to
not
protect
my
these
ilk, dude.
left-wing
I'm not a
nutcases.
journalist. I run a talk show. I have people like George Harris on, and I ask them the toughest questions I can and try to play both sides of the fence here to get the truth out there. We don't claim to be journalism here. We claim to have a talk show. And
But
I
then
think
why do you fight? Why do you fight with me like you're a journalist when we talked about the presidential preferential primary, which they wasted $6.1 million on for none of the above to win, and then you took the stance of, well, none of the above didn't win. Nikki Haley won. No, Sam, you're wrong. None of the above won because that's what the majority. Because the people were so angry.
If there had been anything given away at the end, like delegates, Nikki Haley would have gotten the delegates.
Sam, you know what? Finally, Dave, again, Sam's right. You know why, Sam? Whoever won, if Nikki Haley, nobody was ever going to get any delegates off the presidential preferential primary.
Correct.
Because the United States Supreme Court said the only group that can move a candidate for president forward is their party.
Right.
And that's why there was a caucus.
Right.
And that's why all the delegates at the caucus were awarded to the president because, and by the way, Sam, did you see that caucus? Everybody said, oh, Michael McDonald's, and you can say whatever you want, Sam. But
and you have said it yourself on this program.
I have, but look, when credit's due, credit is due. When it's all done and said, I've been told the number is somewhere close to 78,000 people that participated in the caucus in the freezing cold. And I've got video that I'd love to send you and Dave, where there were lines that were a quarter-mile long.
Because of the inefficiencies of running the caucus. That's why the lines were miles long.
Sam, don't be a hater. Okay, you don't. It doesn't fit you right. It doesn't fit you right.
George, I love you, and that's all that matters. Let's take a break. We'll come right back with George Harris, Nevadans for Sound Government, after this timeout.
Retail's impact on Nevada's economy? Enormous. 8,600 businesses, large and small, employing 145,000 workers. And last fiscal year, retail paid tax on nearly $60 billion in sales. We're the Retail Association of Nevada. We support retail, we help it grow, and we mean business.
RANNV.org.
Pro Group Management specializes in providing industries with the necessary components to satisfy and exceed workers' comp requirements. Every business has unique needs and specific regulations. Pro Group Management stays ahead of the curve, providing up-to-date services to keep your industry in top form. Discover how we simplify your tasks, improve efficiency, and reduce expense to keep you moving in a positive direction. Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you.
What do you count on? You count on your power every day. At NV Energy, we've always powered what's important to you, but we're not looking at the past. We're focused on the future. While our standards are high, our rates will remain low. And our commitment to renewables isn't just meeting standards, but leading the way. Because you can count on more than just your power. You can count on the company who brings it to you. That's our promise. You can count on it.
Safety is the #1 priority for the trucking industry. Over $7 billion a year is spent on technology like this electronic eye that will apply the brakes automatically. But the most important factor for safety is the truck driver. These hardworking men and women who safely move over 70% of our nation's freight and 94% of Nevada's. We thank you because trucks move America forward.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with George Harris, who apparently believes in day drinking because he's singing this early in the morning.
I tell you, I'm just happy my Kansas City Chiefs won. I was right on the presidential preferential primary. We wasted 6 points. We could have helped veterans. We could have helped homeless people.
Okay,
but no,
let's talk about Repair the Vote. Where are we with Repair the Vote?
So www.repairthevote.us. That is the voter ID constitutional amendment. They're out collecting signatures. We are being sued by Hillary Clinton's attorney. We got the same judge that heard the case last time, and we go back. I think we go back to 22nd. But the president sent out a tweet telling all Nevadans to protect your ballot, to protect your right. Signed the voter ID bill on caucus night. I believe they collected like 28,000 plus signatures. So it's really good. If you would like more information, go again to repairthevote.us. And there's nothing wrong with having to show your ID to vote. When you go to the bank, Sam, you got to show your ID.
Hey, George, this is another one where I've said many times on the program, I agree. The only thing that I ask is that anybody who cannot afford to get an ID is given one for free, and I will happily pay an increase in my taxes, just like we do with the RTC, to be able to get people cards.
You can go down to the DMV right now and get a free ID. You can, if you don't have an ID,
then spend the money to publicize that so that the argument goes away. But I don't.
No argument. Sam, the argument goes away. Sam, listen.
There is an argument. There are people like our Secretary of State, who I like very much.
Sam,
there are people like, hang on. There are people like our Secretary of State, Cisco Aguilar, who says it's a constitutional issue. I disagree. For everything, I agree with you that everything on the planet, you need an ID. And if it makes this go away, that everybody has an ID, then I am fine with that. I'm also fine with the way things are now. And I've got to tell you, when I went to my polling place, because I like to vote in person, the loveliest people were there who had volunteered. And bless all those people that volunteer to get us through election cycles. And
Sam, I agree with you 100%, but here's the facts. Let's talk about facts, okay?
Okay, quickly.
You are a racist. You are an absolute, I'm taking a little note from the Democrats' playbook. You're a racist if you don't require someone to show their ID. All this nonsense about, oh, you're a racist because you want people to show your ID. You can't get on a plane unless you show your ID. You can't go to the bank.
Okay, let's not beat this to death. We're running out of time because I had to show the CBS Sports clip of you, which we love.
Okay,
let's take a break. Back with George Harris after this timeout.
The Nevada Builders Alliance has been protecting the interests of the construction industry for over 50 years. Our programs save members thousands of dollars every year and allow them to provide much-needed benefits to their employees. Our industry also allows Nevada to grow. If you're thinking about a career in the construction industry, reach out. And if you haven't thought of a career in construction, what are you waiting for? We are the Nevada Builders Alliance.
Find your fortune during the $150,000 Lucky Fortune giveaways at Tamarack Casino. Cash and free play giveaways every Thursday and Saturday, including $5,000 cash guaranteed and $40,000 in grand finale giveaways. Your good times are at Tamarack Casino.
Story County is leading Nevada. Home of the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, Google, Tesla, Panasonic, and other world-leading companies. Story County provides thousands of tech, advanced manufacturing, and logistics careers for Nevadans. We're diversifying and driving Nevada's economy and generating millions in tax revenue and billions in economic activity across northern Nevada. Story County is leading Nevada's future.
Southwest Specialties has been making the homes and businesses of Nevada beautiful for more than 20 years. Their experienced designers and craftsmen create the walkways, backyards, water features, and a variety of outdoor cooking areas that add curb appeal and value to your investment. Call today or visit them at their website and see how they can make your outdoor spaces special. Southwest Specialties, creative, distinctive, beautiful.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with George Harris. He's the chairman of Nevadans for Sound Government. You have a podcast, and the president, the former president, is going to be on this podcast. According to you, the podcast is Inside Scoop. When is this interview with the president going to happen?
Well, Sam, see, this is why I can't tell you anything. I told you not to say anything to anybody. It's going to happen. It's going to happen quick. And it's going to be huge. And, Sam, the president and Don and I, talked, and he's going to come to the hotel. We're going to do a big fundraiser for him. We're going to raise a boatload of money. To all my liberal, far left, crazy nutcase friends out there. You know, Sam, I never say Democrats. I say far left liberal nutcases, because Democrats, as regular people, are probably some of the best folks on the planet. And most of them, a lot of them are my really good friends. They think a little wrong. But look, I'm all about the most important thing in the world. I want everybody to be able to have the American dream. I want a guy that starts a business in his garage to become a multimillionaire. I have a kid who just turned 17. When he was 16, he started his own company called Max Flamus Hot Sauce. So go to maxsauces.com or maxflamus.com and look what a 17-year-old entrepreneur did. And believe it or not, I didn't give him a dime. He put all his own money into this.
And that is all true. We had Max on the show. I love his hot sauce. I love his videos. And that, my friend, is where we got to leave it. I will see you in April in your home state and in your hometown and in your home studio there. And looking forward to it. Thanks for doing this, George.
Sam, thank you for always having me. And go to the Alien Research Center in Hyco, Nevada. Whoop, I can't do it right here. And enjoy what the people at CBS News enjoyed.
Thank you, my friend. We'll be right back.
Imagine a magical garden that feeds Carson City's hungry and homeless, teaches our high school students agriculture, creates hanging floral displays to beautify downtown, and yet charges nothing. It's not magic. It's the Greenhouse Project. It's real, it's growing, and it needs your help. Go online to carsоncitygreenhouse.org so together we can grow it forward.
Everyone is talking about opioids, but they're not the only drugs that can be harmful if taken in large quantities or not as prescribed. You also need to be aware of side effects from anxiety drugs, muscle relaxants, sleep aids, and stimulants. Mixing prescription drugs with other drugs or alcohol can be dangerous. If you take an Ambien with a glass of wine, it may be enough to stop you from breathing. Prescribed drugs can be just as dangerous as illegal drugs. Take medications only as directed.
Modern boutique Ahern Hotel and Event Center sits at the heart of the Las Vegas Strip. 2 floors of meeting and event space are ideal for groups and conventions. Stay in one of 200 luxurious rooms and suites. Brand your event throughout the property. Flexible event spaces make for easy planning and personalization. Take over the entire hotel with a full buyout option.
7 at 7 is a newscast built for your smartphone. It's a 7-minute newscast available every weekday at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. at lvrj.com. We don't waste your time, and we give you the day's top stories.
We at the RJ have noticed some similarities between us and a certain BTS character, RJ.
Plus the latest in Las Vegas business, weather, health, and entertainment news. 7 at 7 streaming now on your smartphone.
Thanks for watching Nevada Newsmakers. You can catch us online 24 hours a day at NevadaNewsmakers.com, or you can download the podcast wherever you like to get your podcasts. We'll see you on the next broadcast.